I just want to add in my 2 cents on the whole Anthony Richardson situation because it seems like the national media now has turned their back on this kid because he tapped on his helmet and he said he was too tired and he wanted to sub out for one play. Look, I understand it. I get it. He's a professional athlete. You want every single athlete on the field to be able to play every single snap, especially if you are a quarterback. That is something I have never seen before, but I do understand it. For one, he should not be playing at all. He shouldn't have played his rookie season. He shouldn't have played this season either. The NFL has a huge quarterback development problem right now. When you look at all the quarterbacks that have come through the first round, a lot of the guys are on the bench or they're on their second team. You look at Zach Wilson. You look at Kenny Pickett. You look at Justin Fields. You look at a lot of other quarterbacks as well. Bryce Young right now, he's having a hard time with the Carolina Panthers. Let the kids sit on the bench for a year or two. Then you let them start. Now, Anthony Richardson is a very interesting quarterback that's in a very interesting situation. He went to the Indianapolis Colts. This is not a bad football team offensively. You have very good wide receivers, a very good offensive line from tackle to tackle. Even though he did get sacked 5 times against the Houston Texans, majority of those sacks came from the fact that he was rushing himself inside the pocket because he doesn't have good pocket presence and because he's holding on to the football for too long. Right now, Joe Flacco is a better quarterback. They shouldn't have put this kid back into the starting lineup after he got hurt against the Steelers. I blame this on the Indianapolis Colts. I also look at it from this standpoint. Yes, he has the lowest completion percentage in the NFL. And once again, I want to make this clear. I was saying let Joe Flacco start when he came in that Steelers game, just to make sure that we're clear here. Anthony Richardson can go out there and deliver a lot of nice passes. It's not consistent just yet. This team deals with a lot of drops. Even with Joe Flacco, they had drops. With Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, you also have A.D. Mitchell as well, who's a rookie, and Alec Pierce. Let's not sit up here and make it seem like Anthony Richardson is the only reason why this team is not winning football games right now. They're 4-4, and they have won football games with Anthony Richardson. The accuracy is poor. The ball placement is poor. The decision making is iffy as well. I understand all of that. He is far from being a perfect quarterback in the NFL, and he doesn't have that blazing speed in open field either. It's a lot of flaws to his game. But let's not make it seem like Anthony Richardson is just a terrible person because he wanted to sub off the field for one play. I think that's what the national media, that's what they're trying to run with. And they compare him to Josh Allen in his first year in the NFL. For one, Josh Allen played more in college than Anthony Richardson did. This is a kid that only played one season in college. Just one. And he showed a lot of potential in that one season. Was it worthy of being a first-round pick? In my opinion, no. Because he was an overhyped prospect. He has a major arm. He can throw the deep ball smooth at times. But he doesn't have blazing speed like Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels. And he doesn't have the playmaking ability like a Josh Allen behind the line of scrimmage. It takes time to develop that. So even though I'm in favor of them benching Anthony Richardson for the rest of this season, I also look at a kid that's come off a shoulder injury that he suffered last season. Also had a concussion last season as well. He doesn't know how to play this position just yet. And this may be too rich for Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen got to coach up Jalen Hurts, who had multiple seasons in college with Oklahoma. And then he had multiple seasons with Alabama. Let's not forget that. He also coached up Justin Herbert, multiple seasons at Oregon. That's a problem right now in the NFL. They're taking kids that only have 1 to 2 good years in college and they throw them out on the field immediately. That should not be the case. On paper, yes, he has a very good football team, and these are very good players. But paper doesn't always win. Anthony Richardson's career is not over. He is still capable of being a good quarterback in the NFL on a week-to-week basis. Just right now, it's not panning out. And I do feel for Anthony Richardson because this man came out in the press conference. He was just being honest with the media. This is why athletes don't tell the truth half the time. Because look at what has happened. It's blown back up in this kid's face. He said, I'm not going to lie to you. I was tired. And he laughed after. He didn't think there was going to be anything harmless, but unfortunately it was. And I understand if you play in the NFL, his teammates, they may look at him sideways. You're subbing yourself off the field because you're too tired. I know to the casual viewer, including myself, that's a bit crazy, but to them it's not, because you go through conditioning drills, you go through training camp together, all those things together. You're supposed to play on the field. Even certain players play when they're injured. Look at Tua. A couple of years ago, the man played against the Buffalo Bills with a concussion. Tom Brady has played with a concussion in the past as well. I think the kid made an honest mistake. He should have said, man, my hip was messing up, or I got banged up. I just need to sit out a play. That was it. But this is not the reason why he's getting benched, because he was too tired to play. He's getting benched because he did not play well. And that's okay, because he's just in his second year. You give him time. I am concerned about him long term, because right now you've already taken the genie out the bottle. And you worry about confidence issues and things like that, because we've seen in the past, usually franchises try to go out there and they'll say, you know what, we're hitting a reset. That's what the Jets tried to do with Zach Wilson. It didn't work out. He's with his second team. That's why when you take a quarterback in the first round, especially this position, you have to be very careful how you treat that kid moving forward, because he is expected to be the face of your franchise. He's expected to be the leader. But when you look at the names that's on the bench right now, it's very startling. You have guys like Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. All those guys went in the first round. Bryce Young right now, his career is not going into the right direction. But you also have some young studs in the NFL as well. You look at CJ, who's in this division. He's been a phenomenal quarterback. You also look at other situations, Jordan Love, but they set him down for the first couple of years of his career. You see the difference? Some quarterbacks can come in faster than others, and they can develop faster. Some it takes longer to go out there and fully develop. We're also seeing quarterbacks go out there and go to other teams, and they go out there and they have a career resurgence. Look at Geno Smith with the Seattle Seahawks, Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Sam Darnold right now with the Minnesota Vikings. We're starting to see these quarterbacks go into other situations and find more success. The same with Justin Fields. Even though he's on the bench right now, he found some success with the Steelers earlier this season. I think that the NFL, when these teams just take a step back, reassess, and just slow down. Do not rush these kids on the field. And I think Anthony Richardson will be okay. This is what he needs to sit down and to just learn. And this is what should have happened his rookie season. I was always confused by that. Shane Steichen put this guy on the field immediately. They gave him first team reps. And you had Gardner Minshew. Now, Gardner Minshew is not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's far from it. But we've seen him in his veteran role before. He's been across the NFL for many teams at this point in his career. And this team was one game away from making the NFL playoffs last season. So what was the harm in just letting Gardner Minshew go out there and hold things down for the entire season? And then you bring in Anthony Richardson for year number 2. He could have avoided the injuries, and he could learn from watching other quarterbacks as well. I think that we get wrapped up into thinking that these quarterbacks, they only worry about the starting quarterback in front of them. This man could have been on the sideline watching Lamar Jackson play. Instead of worry about getting on the tablet and trying to worry about his next drive, he can watch Patrick Mahomes play from the sideline. You don't have to worry about as much. We've seen Aaron Rodgers. He sat down the first couple of years of his career. He benefited from it. That's not going to always be the case, because some quarterbacks, they come over to the NFL, they're just not cut out for it. But when you look at a guy like Anthony Richardson, he has all the athleticism in the world to go out there and be a top quarterback in the NFL. But this is the biggest problem right here. Just because you have the athleticism does not mean that you're going to work out in the NFL. I said this Sunday when I was in favor of them benching him. I'm going to say it again. For every Josh Allen you see, it is going to be at least 10 Kyle Boilers. At least. Or 10 Zach Wilsons. Kids that go out there, look phenomenal in college, and come over to the NFL, it just doesn't work out. I think the Indianapolis Colts also have to be harder on these wide receivers as well. They have to catch the freaking football. They're very good in terms of going out there and getting separations and route running, yes, but they need to come down to football more. And this defense has to play better as well. I remember earlier in the season, they could not stop the run. Now their rushing defense has gotten better. It's still not one of the best in the NFL. And they are beat up and banged up on the defensive side. They also have a bad defensive coordinator in Gus Bradley as well. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about how the linebackers have been getting abused in pass coverage. This team is 4-4. Their season is far from over. But I think you let Joe Flacco go out there. You let him hold things down. Hopefully this does not hurt Anthony Richardson's confidence moving forward. And I'm rooting for the kid. I really am. I'm rooting for Bryce Young. I'm rooting for every young quarterback in the NFL to go out there and have success. But let me know what you guys think about this entire situation in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.